Hi, Heart Fam. I'm hopping on for a quick word of encouragement, a word that will hopefully push you to next level. This word is practice makes perfect. And we know the saying practice makes perfect means what? We know if you continue to practice, if you continue to do something, you'll get to the next level. You will become proficient in whatever that thing is that you're trying to do, right? So when we use the term practice makes perfect, if we take that application and apply it to our relationship with God, how much time we spend with Jesus, practice makes perfect. Apply it to that. Practice makes perfect. So if we take time with him every day, that's the practice. We will get to a point where spending time with him will become natural to us. It will become second nature. So when we look at practice makes perfect, we know that if you continue doing something over and over and over and over and over, you eventually will develop a point of where whatever you're doing, it just becomes a part of you. And that's the same thing when it comes to spending time with Jesus. Practicing spending time with Jesus, it's about the consistency. It's about being consistent. Am I being consistent so that I can be a goat when it comes to spending time with Jesus? Just like anything else, whether sports or work, whatever it is, we continue to develop and we continue to put time into something because we want to be the GOAT in whatever area we're in. That's what practice makes perfect is. So when you apply the same principle to spending time with Jesus, practice makes perfect. So it's not always about the amount of time. It's about the consistency. So if you only have 5 minutes, take that 5 minutes and spend time with him every single day. Be consistent with taking that 5 minutes, spending time with him, listening to him. You know, every day we have 24 hours in a day. 24 hours. 5 minutes out of your day. That is not asking a lot in order for you to get to next level. 5 minutes out of your day. You know, some people are like, oh, you know, you may feel like I have to, you know, dedicate an hour or 2 hours. No. No, no, no. Be consistent. If you have to start small with 5 minutes, if you have to start small with 10 minutes, whatever it is you can do it, but be consistent with what you do. Be consistent in spending time with Jesus. Make that priority for you. I don't care if it's your first 5 minutes. When you first open your eyes and you say, thank you, Jesus, for waking me up this morning. The next 5 minutes, even if you're laying in your bed, take that time for him. 5 minutes. If you're driving in your car, taking your kids to school, once you drop them off and you're on your way to work, take that time. Spend time with Jesus. Turn some worship on and just spend time with him. I've gotten to the point where, even with me, and it may seem awkward, but you know, when it comes to, you have to find what works for you. And that's the thing. Finding what works for you so that you can be consistent. And I even incorporate spending time with Jesus in my workout time. When I hit that gym and I put my earbuds on, my AirPods, most of the time I'm listening to worship music. I get my moments where I need my rap, I need my hardcore so I can go hard. But I also have those times where I put my worship music in, I'll put a good sermon in, and I listen, but as I'm working out, I have it in my mind that, you know what, it's not just me working out, I'm working out with Jesus. Now that may seem funny, okay, Monica, what in the world? But that's my space of spending time with Jesus. And that's why I say you have to find what works for you. But the key is to be consistent. Even when I run, I go outside and I run and I put my earbuds in once again. I put my praise and worship on and I start running. And in my mind, as I'm talking to Jesus, I envision him right there with me running. May seem a little weird, but that's what I do. That's what I do. And that's what gets me to level up with him. That's how I get my time in with him. Because sometimes life does get busy and we don't always have like a dedicated time. And you don't always have a lot of time. But the key is to be consistent in the time you have, whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's an hour. Be consistent in the time you have. God honors that because he's looking at your heart. He's not looking at, oh, you didn't have a whole hour to give me. No, he would take that 5 minutes of a genuine conversation with him and genuine, coming to him with a heart of God. I just want you. This 5 minutes belongs to you. That is what he's looking for. That's what he's looking for. And the thing is, the enemy, he tries to make it seem like spending time with Jesus is a chore. Like it's just this hard thing to do when in reality, it's not hard. And, I just pointed out a few ways, 5 minutes of your day. When you wake up, you're laying in the bed trying to get yourself together. Before you get up out of that bed, before your feet hit the ground. Take that 5 minutes before you do that and spend time with him. That's one. In the shower. Take the time you're in the shower. Spend time with Jesus. There are plenty of times that we have that we can spend time with Jesus. It's just making it priority and being consistent. And the thing is, I was talking to my son the other day and he was asking me, he looked over and he said, Mom, how do you hear God? I want to hear God like you hear God. And I started to explain to him the relationship that he and I have. And I asked him, I said, what is our relationship like? And he said, what do you mean? I said, how much time do we spend together? He said, we're always together. I said, yeah. I said, we're always together to the point that you know my reaction to something. You know what my reaction will be. You know what I'm going to say about something. If you see my facial expression, you already know what I'm thinking because you spend time with me on a daily basis. Practice makes perfect. Spending time with Jesus on a daily basis. That is how you will hear from him. That is how you'll know his voice. So I began to share with my son. I said, the reason I am able to hear his voice is because I have started to take that time every day. I'm consistent with taking time and talking to Jesus. Sometimes it may not be the amount of time I want, but I always make that a priority. Before I go to bed at night, I make sure I have spent time with him for the day. Half the times I may be even going to bed and I'm tired, but I'm like, oh no. Before I close my eyes, I am going to spend time with him. Wherever I can find the time, that's when I spend time with him. And that's the same thing for you. Spend time with him so you can know his voice. Spend time with him. Talk to him so you can know his heart. Practice makes perfect. Be consistent. Be consistent in spending time with him. So Heart Fam, practice makes perfect. Start by picking a time. And if For the day you really can't pick a time because you have a busy schedule, we are always in the car. Take time in your car. Carve out time from point A to point B and said, okay, God, this is your time. This is your time today. Don't let a day go by that you don't talk to him. Don't. Because you want to hear from him. You want that close-knit relationship with him. And the only way you'll get a close relationship with him is by what? Spending time with him. When you spend time with him, just like my son and I spend time together, you'll know his voice. When something happens, you'll know if it's God speaking to you or not. You'll hear when he tells you to go this way instead of that way. It's about the connection. But it takes practice. It takes consistency. Heart fam, carve out time. Be consistent and enjoy the time. I promise you, and I will tell you this from experience. When I first started, it's been over a year that I can say I really started prioritizing, about a year and a half, that I really started prioritizing spending time with Jesus. And I will tell you that I started out doing 5 minutes. Because at that point, that's where I was. Every night, I dedicated 5 minutes, and I called it date night. And people would text me and call me, and, I allotted a certain time that I knew I'm shutting everything down. I don't care who's calling me. I don't care who's texting me. I'm telling them, hey, it's time for my date night. And it got to the point that people wouldn't even call me or text me around that time because they knew, okay, that's her date night time, and she's serious about it. And I was. Now, it started off as 5 minutes, and let me tell you, it built to, and I'm not even going to set a time frame on it because at this point now, I don't even limit it. I just start talking to him, and I don't leave until he tells me, you know what, you're good. It's time to get up. It can be an hour. It can be 2 hours. It just depends. But I started with 5 minutes because that's where I was. But I was consistent. I was consistent with the 5 minutes. So Heart fam, go ahead. Start your date night. Date night with Jesus. Take out 5 minutes out of your time, whether it's at night, whenever it is. Go ahead and carve out that time to spend with him because guess what? That's what he wants. He wants to spend time with you because he has so many things that he wants you to know. Your life is already planned, but it's up to us to connect to him. It's up to us to take that responsibility to spend time with him and to get to know his thoughts for us. And the only way we can do that is by spending time with him. Spend time with him. Practice makes perfect. Heart fam, I hope this has caused a spark in someone to move to the next level in their relationship with Jesus because he's waiting for you. And I'm going to tell you, when you start making him a priority when it comes to spending time, you will get to the point where if you forget, it'll feel like something's off. If you forget, it'll feel like something's missing. That's the point you want to be at. Because guess what? That means you've gotten to the point where it's natural for you. That's second nature for you. Heart fam, I love you. And until next time, be blessed.